Hey guys, it's Brittany and welcome back to New York Rehab Prosthetics for another informational video. Today we'll be discussing proper donning and doffing of a prosthetic device. So for starters, there's many different variations of prosthetic devices and how they are suspended off of a patient. There are pin and lock suspension and vacuum suction suspension sockets for our below the knee amputees. Today we have our lovely model, patient model, Mr. Marvin Edwards, who is here today to show us how to correctly don and doff his prosthetic device, which is a vacuum suction suspended socket. First and foremost, liner application is always a key priority to wearing any device. We want to locate the front of the liner, since every liner is different, and you will want to roll the liner inside out completely and roll the liner on with the front of the liner going in on the front of your leg. You never want to create a pocket with the liner to place your residuum into, because our goal is to wear the liner and obtain full and total contact between the interfaces. As you can see, our patient has the liner on perfectly straight, the words in the front, and this liner is 6 millimeters tapered, so 6 millimeters in the front, 3 millimeters in the back for comfort. It's thicker in the front because it cushions the distal end, the anterior distal end, which is the bottom of the leg right here where the bone is cut, and that will provide the patient with comfort while wearing his prosthetic device. Next, we want to don our socket. With the patient sitting, we place the leg at a 45-degree angle and roll the suspension sleeve down past the trim lines of our socket. So now we place the leg into the socket at a 45-degree angle. We want to make sure that the patient is down all the way, and we can see that by our anterior trim lines. The patient may have to stand in order to get total contact and fit into the socket fully. We want to make sure that the patient is down all the way, and we can see that by our anterior trim lines, which are the front trim lines right here. It shows that the patella is loading into that wall. This provides support that our patient is fitting desirably into their socket. Now we can roll up the sleeve. Allowing the patient to not go in fully could result in the residuum experiencing negative pressure in the socket, which produces a prosthetic hickey, or also known as a varicose hyperplasia. We never want this. Incorrect fit and donning could also create wounds. If the socket is too big and the patient is swimming in their socket without the use of proper sock usage, the patient will start to piston in the socket, creating an anterior or front bottom wound, something we also don't want to experience. Please note the patient should never use their nails on the sleeve. Any holes or blemishes may arise on the suspension sleeve could potentially create insufficient suction for the patient, which results in their leg not being on correctly. The holes would allow air into their socket, pushing it off the patient, which would create a heavy feeling leg for the patient. This leg is not going anywhere. As the patient now starts to walk, it takes approximately 10 steps to get the air out of their socket so the vacuum suction system can start to work. Now our patient model can sit and we can show you how to take off the device. We simply roll down the suspension sleeve, past our trim lines, pull our leg out of the socket, and then roll back up the sleeve to keep its original shape and elasticity without stretching it out. Keeping proper care of your device gives it a much longer life expectancy. The patient should now take off their liner and clean it. Hope this helps. See you soon.